To Beatrix's surprise, Norman, instead of retreating back to his mathematical equations as they rode through the crowded streets of Chicago in a hansom cab, took to telling her all sorts of tidbits about the city, making the ride downright pleasant instead of uncomfortable. He started with explaining about the Great Fire of 1871, which saw a good portion of the city go up in flames, then moved on to telling her about Potter Palmer. That gentleman had evidently been influential with the recovery of State Street, making improvements to that area that would not have been possible if many of the derelict buildings both on and surrounding that street had not been consumed by the fire. He then pointed out stores he thought she'd find interesting on State Street, including Marshall Field and Company, before launching into a list of the churches available throughout the city, as well as parks. "Why are you telling me all this?" Beatrix finally asked, as Norman settled back on the seat next to her. "Because you accused me of being inept at chit-chat, and I'm now determined to prove you wrong. And here I thought you were trying your hand at being charming." "I can be charming." "Tell me about this Hyde Park where my aunt resides. Is it a fashionable part of town?" Beatrix asked, seeing no point in getting into an argument with Norman yet again, even though she had much to say about his charm, or lack thereof. "Hyde Park is a perfectly respectable area, and it's located not far from where I live on Prairie Avenue, which is north of Hyde Park. If Prairie Avenue is closer, perhaps we should have the driver drop you off first, and then I'll continue on to my aunt's house." "I can't determine if you'll be safe at your aunt's house without personally assessing the situation." Beatrix waved that aside. "For goodness sake, Norman, my mother is hardly likely to send me off to stay with a mad relative, even if she is rather put out with me at the moment." Norman arched a brow. "You lent me the impression you enjoy a lovely relationship with your mother. Why is she put out with you?" "It's not unusual for mothers to occasionally become put out with their daughters." "My mother is never put out with my two sisters. They always seem to be in complete accord with one another. But again, why is your mother put out with you?" "Aren't we almost there yet?" He consulted his pocket watch. "We have approximately 24 minutes before we arrive at your aunt's house." He tucked his watch away. "That means you have plenty of time for an explanation." She blew out a breath. "I suppose there's no harm in telling you the story behind me being banished from New York." "You've been banished?" "For lack of a better word, yes. My mother, you see, became exasperated with me after I managed to get myself arrested while marching with hundreds of fellow suffragists through the streets of New York, and arrested twice at that." Norman blinked, just once. "You were arrested twice?" "I'm afraid so." He frowned. "You do realize that it's a futile movement, don't you? The majority of women enjoy having men take care of them, and men enjoy taking care of their women. Because of that, the movement is doomed to failure, which means you would be better off to find a different, less volatile cause." "And to that I would say this. Men have all the say in our lives, especially after a woman gets married. They have complete control over our finances, unless a woman is fortunate enough to have a father who has some wealth and foresight in setting up a separate account for his daughter. But most women don't have that luxury. Men also have the final say in where we live, how we deal with children, and, well, I could go on and on. Many women want the right to vote because laws affect us, and yet we have no say in what laws are passed." "And you were willing to get arrested for pushing the right to vote?" "It wasn't as if I planned on getting arrested either time. The first rally was supposed to be a tame affair, but then the police showed up. Someone threw something, and the next thing I knew, I was locked behind bars." She shook her head. "The second time, I'd gone to listen to a lecture. After the lecture, some of the women decided to take to the streets, wearing their Votes for Women sashes. I just happened to be trailing after them when yet another ruckus broke out, and before I knew it, I was behind bars, again." She sighed. "After my father posted my bail for the second time, my mother decided I needed a change of scenery.